Tracy Stuffle and I grew up in the same town, and when he was a teenager in high school, of course, I'd already gotten out, and we got to know each other through church music. He was singing in a group there locally where I lived, and they came to our church one night, the church I grew up in, on a Saturday night, and they had set up their PA system, and pastor didn't know how to describe a PA system. We didn't have many groups to come into our church, and the pastor didn't like it because their speakers were so big, and they kind of messed up the aesthetic look of our sanctuary. And so he said, I just don't understand these groups that'll come in, they'll have a big old black thing over here and a big old black thing over here and chords running here and yonder. There ain't no power of God within 100 miles of that thing. And he chewed them out before they ever got on, you know. And then after the service, as if it wasn't bad enough already, they had a fellowship service in the altar, and people walking around shaking hands, and one of the ladies came down out of the choir and tripped on a cord and broke her arm. That's the truth, isn't it? Shortly after that, I took Tracy to see the Cathedral Quartet in Greenville, South Carolina on a Thanksgiving night. Do you remember that? And he fell in love with Southern Gospel Quartet music. And then not too long after that, I drove him down to Dahlonega, Georgia to meet with the Perrys. And he got back in the car with me and he said, now that little woman and me ain't going to get along. He said, we'll never make it traveling on a bus together. And I said, son, I learned don't ever say never. You'll probably end up marrying that woman. And he did. So Tracy is going to sing a beautiful song that Rodney wrote. I love this song, He's My Savior. See him in a manger laid, sent to earth, sin's price to pay. He's my Savior. He's my Savior. See him stand in Pilate's hall. See him take the blame for all. He's my Savior. He's my Savior. He's my Savior because he left his throne for me. He's my Savior because he died in agony. He's my Savior because he rose in victory, and he will always be my Savior. See him wear a crown of thorns, see him mocked and laughed to scorn, but he's my Savior. He's my Savior. See him hang in open shame on a cross that bears my name. He's my Savior. He's my Savior. He's my Savior because he left his throne for me. He's my Savior because he died in agony. He's my Savior because he rose in victory, and he Thank you, Tracy.